So here we are on night 1, and we have Uno, male, Hadley, female, and Rubio, male. So this is a trio we're working on, and if you follow this feed at all, you know that I don't do multiple bondings very much, so this is one of the few, and so it's a little bit different for me, and probably might misread some cues here and there. So we've got Uno, one ear, that's why it's called Uno. He also has half a tail. And Rubio. So Hadley should probably have a name that ends with an O, so I'm open to suggestions there. So that it's Rubio, Uno, and something with an O. Just to make it flow better. So we started off in the carrier, and I was a little bit nervous about having them in there. We always try and start these bonding sessions with something that is stressful, and then we move to something where we're doing the bonding session. This is a small room again, same small room that we've been using for the other bondings, and a bathroom. The tile floor kind of is easier to clean up, and also they don't have so much traction on there. I do have a rug, and so this is their first night together, first night of bonding together. They did really well. Yesterday I was a little bit apprehensive when we started because right out of the bat she started chasing Uno and nipping at him, but it didn't ever escalate. And then she jumped into the litter box with Rubio and started grooming him. And Kirsten's theory about Rubio is correct. I think he'd bond with just about anybody. And she did really well grooming him, and then she'd jump out and chase Uno around. And I thought, okay, this is going to end up being a pairing with just Rubio, because every time Uno would come around, she would chase him. But he eventually got in the box with her and him, and actually before that he got in the box with Rubio only, and Rubio groomed him, which was good. Uno hasn't really groomed anybody, I don't think, and he's also the most skittish of the bunch in the bonding. I mean, otherwise it's Rubio that's the most skittish, but he's the easiest to pick up too, I gotta say that. And so then she jumped in the box with Rubio, and then Uno jumped in, and she just groomed Rubio like crazy. And then she turned to groom Uno and realized he only had one ear, and that freaked her out a little bit. So she stopped, but then she ended up grooming him some more, and they've been like this since. So I feel like this is really positive stuff, and like it's going to work out. I do have them in separate pens otherwise. I can tell you that she eats a lot, as you know. She finished all her pellets, she finished most of her hay, and the lettuces that you gave me, which is the bagged lettuce from Sprouts, you were saying you were giving her one of those heads of lettuce every day, and that's just way too much lettuce, so let's cut that back to a couple of leaves of that head. And this is going to be a challenge feeding, because I think she will try to eat everything you put down. These other two guys, they didn't eat all their food, and they only had an eighth of a cup. So you might end up having to feed them separately from her, and I know that's a challenge, but if you separate them for dinner time, and I've had plenty of pairs that I had to do that with, I separate them for half an hour while one eats, or in this case two eat, and try and sneak them snacks when I can. Sneak them pellets here and there so that they're still getting a good amount. So you're going to have a bit of a challenge with that regime, but I think it's worth it to do that so that they get enough pellets. Keep lots of hay in there, and then veggie time. I'm kind of curious to see if she gets aggressive with them at feeding time, so I'll definitely be trying that later in the week. But for tonight, everything looks good. She did nip at Uno, but that stopped. It didn't escalate. She didn't chase him. much. She chased him a little bit. He ran away. He never turned on her. And then we have this going on. So tonight I'll switch them in their pen areas to each other's pens so that they're not in the same pen tonight that they were in last night. Litter box skills. Hadley had really good skills. Rubio second best, and Uno was just all over the place with his poops. And that's usually what we expect during bonding, is that there's not going to be litter box skills kind of go out the door during bonding. So I don't expect that's going to continue. You can see that as far as the bonding session goes, we didn't have too much going on outside of the box, so that was good. Now, I think that's it for night 1.